Ever since playing Halo Combat Evolved, I, like many other fans, had always wanted an option to play against AI bots in multiplayer maps. When my friends up the street within my cul-de-sac had to go home as evening approached, that was the end of enjoying Halo Combat Evolved multiplayer until we were able to hang out again. This was of course before Xbox Live. Thankfully, a mod creator by the name of Trevor Pot Procky has created Halo CE Bot Bootcamp. This mod has evolved over time, and I feel it's right to further showcase it, as it also includes a campaign option. This goes to show the love poured into this mod. It's one thing to modify pathfinding AI in Halo Combat Evolved multiplayer maps, but to incorporate a fun campaign mod for further context is the cherry on top.
Well, look at you flying with an angel. Lieutenant Duke would like to have a word. Oh, welcome aboard.
If you decide to select the campaign for this mod bot bootcamp, you'll experience a unique custom cutscene at the beginning of the campaign of you as a UNSC Marine boarding the Pillar of Autumn shortly after escaping Reach. En route to speak with Lieutenant Duke, you'll spot a red and blue Spartan playing Capture the Flag as they run through a teleporter on the ship. Keep your eyes open for little Easter eggs here and there too, throughout this mod. On board the Pillar of Autumn, you'll be tasked with donning the Mark V Spartan armor and entering a training program which spawns you in various multiplayer maps, including dig site content. I'm not someone who needs to have multiplayer modes make a whole lot of sense, but I do believe it was inevitable that Halo would later elaborate as to why it's Spartan versus Spartan for those that want some further context in official Halo games. In this mod, I personally enjoy the effort put into making the Pillar of Autumn more tranquil as you traverse a new route throughout the ship. Computer modules aren't blowing up in your face, and the Marines and Navy crewmen, they're not yet getting their butts kicked by aliens. The Pillar of Autumn is a Halcyon-class cruiser, and a Halcyon atmosphere is certainly present in this custom introduction to this mod. Once you're suited up, you'll make your way through the teleporter. And this is where you'll see the added backgrounds to maps with these sweeping camera angles. This just introduces the map for a few seconds and gets you prepared for the match. Game types such as Slayer, Team Slayer, Capture the Flag, King of the Hill are available game types for the campaign option. Now, if you play the multiplayer version, which we will see here in a moment, you'll be able to choose from whatever game types you want, as if you were playing the retail multiplayer with your friends at home. Now, this is two-way Capture the Flag, and you'll notice I only have one other teammate, and I'm going against two red Spartan opponents. This is because I'm playing on Legendary mode. However, if you do play on Easy mode, you'll have 8 versus 8. Normal mode is 4 versus 4. And Heroic is 2 versus 2 or 1 versus 1 depending on the map. If you play this campaign mode for this mod on Legendary difficulty, you will continue through each map after a match ends. However, if you play on any lower difficulty setting, you will replay the same map with possibly a new randomized game type. This is a great option to just sit back, relax, and enjoy playing some Halo Combat Evolved multiplayer without checking to see if a specific game type and map you want to play is actually available online with real players. Now, I will say that these bots really engage you at a long distance. They do not let up. With this, I'm noticing a trend here. When it comes to Halo mods, I enjoy the mods that increase the engagement range for the AI. It makes the game more intense and challenging. So how do you make AI enjoyable to fight with and against in large to small multiplayer maps? Increase the engagement range and allow the AI to operate vehicles, which I think is so cool to see the AI do. They don't just operate ghosts, they'll operate any vehicle. When I was playing the classic game type of two-way Capture the Flag on Blood Gulch, the AI was adamant to take me down once I depleted my camouflage, and they saw their large red flag waving in the wind going to blue base, but my blue team of Spartans halted their pursuit. Another way this mod makes the AI enjoyable to fight is that they are more reactive, constantly scanning the environment around them as if they are reacting to what they see on their radar, just like a real player would. Now, when it comes to the difficulty, I want to be clear that easy mode does not necessarily mean the AI is easy to defeat, but rather it just means you're okay with total chaos, especially on smaller maps such as Derelict. What's a really neat feature in this mod is the AI will attempt to capture your flag, so you do have to play the objective, and it matters. Once the team scores 3 points, it's game over, or if the time runs out, the team with the highest score wins. And there's been some alterations with the game types. If the flag carrier is eliminated, then the flag can automatically reset to your base. This can eliminate a tedious process if you're playing 8 versus 8, because having 8 AI bots trying to whack you is pretty hellacious. As an example, I was flying a Banshee on the map Infinity, and 2 opponents below me, on foot, started unloading onto my vehicle. They're not going to let you just bypass on your way to their base. No way. Now, as you see here for the campaign mode, there are 11 missions that state the name of the levels. Derelict is actually spelled as Direlect, which is not far off. It is a dire situation with 15 bot AIs on the map and you yourself. But you'll have a multitude of maps that are large, medium, and small, some of which incorporate vehicles. And the last mission, named Epilogue, is actually a tribute to those who helped make this mod possible. Therefore, there are 10 playable levels for the campaign mode of this mod. Going into the multiplayer side, you'll notice that I have 36 maps. However, it's because I have another mod installed. For Bot Bootcamp, there are 24 playable levels that will include the bot AIs. And if you notice here, BBC in this case stands for Bot Bootcamp. That's what it stands for.
Capture the flag.
From here, you can decide the game type you want to play, from Slayer, Team Slayer, Oddball, King of the Hill, Capture the Flag, and even play Invasion, where you enable Assault and carry the enemy's flag into their base before the bomb was implemented in Halo 2's multiplayer. This was pretty fun to play on the map named Longest. This match was 3 versus 3, and since you cannot change the difficulty setting for multiplayer mode, this mod balances the map accordingly with the recommended player count. I believe these smaller maps in multiplayer mode is the optimal way to enjoy this mod. That is, if you're looking for classic game types with a quick gameplay cadence. Whereas the larger maps, you'll have a fun time in certain map choke points, but you'll especially enjoy finding some Easter eggs throughout the maps. Using the Banshee here, I got curious and went on top of the actual cliff here in Sidewinder, and I found a switch that spawned 2 wraiths, and then I heard some familiar voices. Activating that switch that you just saw in this video, you can spawn the Covenant and go against Covenant and Spartans. So I have a feeling with all the other maps, there are plenty of Easter eggs, and this is cool. Out of all those times, I'd just plug in another controller and walk around the multiplayer maps in Halo Combat Evolved, taking in the environment when my friends were not over to play multiplayer, and just wishing I could go against Spartan and Covenant bots. Out of all those times, I just thought it wasn't possible. I thought the characters would not be able to traverse the map and be able to fight back in interesting ways. Despite Halo's success, I never would have imagined 23 years later, people would still care enough to be able to force AI bots into multiplayer maps and actually make them fun and challenging to include adding Easter eggs in Halo Combat Evolved's multiplayer maps. I'll have to take the time and go through all the Easter eggs. I only know about that switch that spawns the Covenant in Sidewinder, but I hear some pretty cool music in this little hole here. Oh, this seems like a smaller part to a larger Easter egg, and just so we're clear, I did not add that audio in post-editing. That is what you'll hear if you go to this part of the Blood Gulch map. I had such a great time with this mod, and it's definitely one I'm going to keep. Go ahead and download this mod by clicking on the Steam link in the description of this video. I love this mod for what it is already, but I'd like to see how it evolves over time if it does. And will we see this in other Halo games? Well, this has been KYOT, Coyote. Check out my other videos I've made, and you'll hear from me again in the next video.
KYOT Coyote.